Hey guys, it's Mike with another King Arthur Legends Rise video. We are 52 minutes away from update. Looking through everywhere I can to see what's going on, and I have no information. If I go over here to Hall of Conquerors, I did actually get 3 more hearts killed on Steel Flame Pinvid. I was at 34, now I'm at 37. And then I did get 1 more out of Hrungnir here at 41. Got me to 108. I was at 104, which would have put me around, I think, 48th. Currently, I'm sitting on 40th, so I think I'm probably safe to get that very first fragment of Caliburn Arthur's Frost Relic. So pretty excited about that. Looking forward to the reset, honestly, just to tackle these again. Even if they're the same exact bosses, kind of getting back in here, switching my teams up, seeing if I can do a little better than I did this time. But I think this is awesome content that came to the game, and I think it is going to engage with later mid as well as in-game players for at least a few weeks until people start getting that Frost Relic for Caliburn Arthur, and then there won't really be a whole big point to come back in here. Although I will say the rewards that they are giving out along the way are helpful. They're great. Extra stamina, extra rate up summons. So I mean, there's things in there that are going to be worthwhile. But I could see for in-game players, they might jump in, throw their team in that they're used to, do the best they do, and then walk away and be done with it, as opposed to actually trying to fine-tune and min-max it and so forth. But I personally have been finding this content to be super engaging, and I think this is exactly what King Arthur needed. As far as where everybody was, I think we have lost a few of the super in-game players in the whales. Hopefully, maybe they're just taking a little break, letting a couple updates accumulate. Maybe they'll be back when we have some more stuff going on. But speaking of update, we are 50 minutes away from the update, and let me show you what I can find. If we jump over on King Arthur Legends Rise, their official YouTube channel, the latest videos we have are the dev notes from 2 weeks ago, as well as Caliburn Arthur video. So this did launch, I think, a couple days before the update that was talking about some of the stuff, and I think the Caliburn Arthur video launched a few hours before the update, maybe even a day before the update. So the fact that we don't have anything right now kind of tells me we're probably not getting a new character. If we jump over on King Arthur at netmarble.com or whatever we got going on up here and hit the community here, we got this generic note about get the latest news about King Arthur, and then there's nothing there. You can click on these and take you to different places, but I haven't been able to find anything. Heading over to their Discord looking for updates. The last thing in here was 428. So there's not really been an update in that space. And then we did get a notice on the dev notes here on 5/13, that is today, Tuesday, there is a scheduled maintenance. So that is about the extent of it. It looks like it's going to be about a 2-hour maintenance, which is pretty standard, I think, from what we typically get. But it says announcement here, patch and maintenance, see below for details. And these are the details. Maintenance patch scheduled. Details may be subject to change. Game access will be unavailable. Thank you. So I gotta say, to a certain extent, I don't have a lot of expectations for whatever the patch is going to be, whatever the update is going to be. Probably getting rate up summons for characters that are already in the game. I mean, obviously, it's a little disappointing. We'd like to get new characters all the time. But I think, again, the big disappointment here is the lack of communication. We're an hour away from the update. People are excited about the update, and there's no video, there's no teaser, there's no nothing to get us excited about what's happening Tuesday. I think throwing out a video on Monday, just kind of teasing something, would be a huge win, and it would keep us kind of plugged in and excited about Tuesday's update. I've been excited about the update for Tuesday for a while. And unfortunately now I think there's nothing happening. Now, to be fair to Netmarble, the last update was huge. They did a lot of things in the last update that I think improved the game dramatically. They did launch 1 new character, which is cool, but they added the wish list. They added the automatic play where you can do different skills. They added the shard shop upgrades. They added the breakthrough for extra leveling for your champions. And so there was just so much being added to the game. They added Hall of Conquerors, which is 3 new bosses. So it was an absolute monster update that they did last week or 2 weeks ago. So to take this 2 weeks off, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I would like to see at least a champion come into the game, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. But if you're not going to do it, at least let us know. Like, send that communication out. Let us know what to expect. Maybe we're just fixing bugs. Maybe there's a small little patch update. Maybe there's something that you can tease us with. But just engage with us. Keep us posted. This lack of communication, I think, is more frustrating than anything. But seeing how there's not evidence to support anything new coming to the game, I'm going to assume the next 2 weeks we're not getting a new champion. And I'm going to pull my 80 rate-up summons for Caliburn Arthur. I think if you can get him to Chivalry level 5, he is well worth it, and it's going to be several weeks before he enters the summoning pool. So we're going to go ahead and pull these 80. I might eat my words. They might have an amazing character come in, and if they do, I'll be happy to have eaten my words. But if they don't, I don't want to be sitting on these 80 rate-up summons. That's too much temptation for me. I can't handle it. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull for Caliburn Arthur. We still have 45 minutes and see what we get. So before we jump in there, we're going to check out again. We can get Merlin, Morgan, Tristan, and Anya. All of these champions are fantastic champions, so I'd love to get chivalries for each of them. I have already reset, so we're going to go. If we can get 2 copies of Arthur, if we happen to pull one in the first 20, we're going to go all the way to 80 and get 2 copies of him because we'll be guaranteed to do so. But if we don't get a copy in that first 20, then I think we're just going to pull 60 of these and hold on to 20 just in case I'm wrong. But let's go ahead and get started and see what's going on here. And we can upgrade our Caliburn Arthur here. Once I get the Chivalry on him, I can run the Steel Flank Pinvid again and see if I can get another heart or 2 out of that team. So we got a rare here. Let's see who we got. We got Rosier. Perfect. So we got some more tokens for the token shop. That's good by me. There's a lot of great goodies in the token shop since they stepped up their game, and I would love to be able to do it. So unfortunately, we did not get an extra copy of a legendary prior to my cutoff for pity. So now with less than 60 left, I can't guarantee an additional copy. But we did get a selector for some more talismans, so that's going to be a big win. I believe we're also going to get all the way to the selector for tomes as well, which will be big for the account, trying to stack up those deals. Was that another Rosier? It was another Rosier. So back-to-back Rosiers. I mean, if you're going to pull a champion, she's a great champion to pull. I need chivalries on Ralph. And also Anguish and Isolde, I believe, are the other ones I'm kind of focused on. But here we got Urian's 10, Turin's at 10. I'd like at this point to get another legendary besides Arthur prior to hitting the pity of Arthur. Would be awesome because it doesn't reset to do that. But not on this one. Not on this one. We're kind of getting pretty garbage luck right now. Let's see who we get this time around with these 2 rares. We got them both, Boars and Kieran in there, already maxed out. So we're going to go again. And not gold yet. Not gold yet. Come on. Don't make me go all the way to pity. It's taking me to pity. Taking me to pity. It would be amazing if we got a 2 pull. Hey, there's Wreck-It Ralph. We'll take that. That's 1 copy of Ralph. He's still on Chivalry level 6. It's just sad. It's just sad. And we got 10 of the upgraded tomes there, so that's pretty good. And I don't think we're getting all the way back to... Oh, yeah, we got to pull 20 to get back here. I don't know. All right, this is our pity pull right here, so hopefully we get a 2-fer. Maybe we get a 2-fer, seeing how it sent us all the way to pity. Maybe it takes a little bit of pity on us. Just a little bit of pity. All right. Well, there's our Caliburn Arthur sitting right there. Come on home. So we're going to get that Chivalry level 3 on our Caliburn Arthur there. That was a little rough on those summons going all the way to pity and getting just the 1 copy of them. Did also get an Accolone here, which might finish up my Accolone as well. So I'm sitting here looking at it, and this extra 5 of these is tempting me enough. I think I am going to pull 10 more. They got me. They sucker me in every time. When the reset happens for like your Forbidden Dungeon and all that, a lot of resources come into it once you start clearing those things. So I think we'll be able to stack these up a little bit. And I'm pretty confident we're not getting a new character. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. But we're going to go ahead and hope for a back-to-back. It's probably way too much to ask for. But we will keep our fingers crossed that this wasn't a mistake. And Kind of was. It kind of was. But we did get the 5 extra talisman, which we do need desperately on the account after utilizing all of my upgrades. Definitely finished up Accolone now, and we got another Isolde there, so we will take that. And I think we're going to call that a day. We're going to hold on to these 10 because we're not getting any extra goodies and we're not guaranteed anything either. Let's go jump in and take a peek at Caliburn Arthur's 3rd Chivalry and see if it was worth it. So on that 3rd Chivalry, Caliburn's Will gets a skill enhancement and his damage is going to ignore 20% of enemy's defense stat effect is added. And so we take a look at this here when attacking while you have Stygian Aura, attacks the selected target 5 times, total damage 215%, and 100% chance to remove Stygian Aura from self. So we're actually on that A2 that we run when he does the 5 attacks. We're actually going to be getting an ignore of defense by 20% on that as well, which is going to make him absolutely smack even harder. So that's going to be a huge win there. We are going to get on the 4th and the 5th Chivalry. They do get a little bit better as well. Maintenance begin in 10 minutes. I better get in there and at least run Steel Flank Pinvid one time, see if I can push my score along. So I just finished editing my video and all of a sudden the patch notes came through. So this is what we got going on the announcement, 513. Let's read this together and see what we see. So this first piece is pretty big. We got the special relic summons is going to have a wish list now. I'm assuming it's going to function just like the wish list we have for the special summons for the characters. But now you can actually put in a 1 of 4. I'm assuming for Flame, for Frost, and for Storm relics, so that you can get one of those 4 specific relics for your characters. So that's actually going to be a huge win. Take a lot of RNG out of the game and really get you, I mean, it's super generous because you can get the relics that you really want to achieve. Not to mention they're also in the shard shop now that they're floating through there as well. And then in order to unlock that wish list, you do need to clear hard mode 2.7. So I think most people are probably well past that. Unless you just started the game. So that's pretty cool to bring that into the game. It's very generous. New events, we got Hero Vivian Raid Up Summon. So Vivian is going to be our mission event. I already have her, I think Chivalry level 4. So I'm pretty glad that I pulled for Arthur. That all made sense. We're at a 0.5 year anniversary prep event. So we're doing a half year anniversary to 100 day, and now we're doing a half year. It's kind of funny. Gold collection event and clan activities event. Raid Bounty Apolia. So we got a couple things going on there, just kind of your standard events. There'll be some goodies in there, but nothing that I think sounds super good. The gold collecting event I think is going to be huge just because everybody is farming Gorgos right now, trying to get those breakthrough levels all the way maxed out on their chivalries. So that's going to be pretty good. And here we got some new packages, trying to sell us stuff. It's working on me. I keep buying things, so keep them coming, Netmarble. I keep buying them. And then on the balance adjustments here, Vivian's getting a buff. So that's pretty cool. On the first one, it's going to be on her passive skill. Currently has a 100% chance to grant each Steed favorite ally attack speed increase for 3 turns. It's going to continue to do that, but it's also going to grant each Steed favorite ally recovery increase for 2 turns, which is kind of, I mean, it will work on her, but it says each. So it's going to be an AoE ability. She's the only one that's going to be healing. Unless you're running her alongside, I think Arduin is also Steed favor. I'm trying to think any other healers that are Steed favor where the recovery would be a benefit, but it would at least run on her. So I think it's kind of, at least it grants it on herself. And then 100% chance to grant each Steed favor's ally abnormal status immunity for 1 turn. So that is going to be a pretty good buff for that passive skill. On her Flame Relic, she's currently, what is this, on the A2, 100% chance to heal each ally 7.5% of her max HP and 100% chance to convert each ally's dot to recovery over time for 2 turns. And they're going to add 100% chance to grant each ally attack increase 2 for 1 turn. So that's going to not only heal them, take off their dot damage, but also make them do more damage. So that is going to be a pretty good buff there for the Flame Relic. On the Frost Relic, again on the A2, attacks all enemies, damage 39%. It's a pretty wimpy little hit. 70% chance to inflict chill or for 1 turn, and 100% chance to convert each ally's dot to recovery over time for 2 turns. And then she's going to do the same thing by adding that attack increase for 1 turn. Of the 2 of these, I think that the Flame Relic definitely is better. I'd rather get some AoE heal going on, even if it's 7.5%. versus a tiny little smack or tickle at 39% of attack. You're typically not building her with high attack anyway, so I don't think the Frost Relic, at least this A2, is not where I would spend my energy. But I will say on the Frost Relic, the A3 is the claim to fame, I think. It's a 100% chance to heal one ally, 29% of Vivien's max HP, which is huge. Also 100% chance to grant Frozen Essence for 2 turns. That is a single target heal, but it is a massive heal. So that is pretty big. She also currently has a 100% chance to grant each ally effect accuracy increase 2 for 2 turns, and then they are going to add 100% independent chance to grant each steed favor ally recovery over time for 1 turn. Which again, I don't think you're going to be running her along any other healers, and as far as my understanding on recovery, it's basically a buff to healers so that their heals come in a little stronger. So this will obviously affect her heals being a steed favor, but I don't know. I mean, I think Ardoin is the only other steed healer that I can think of. And I'm trying to think. She may not even be steed, but I'm pretty sure she is. So if you happen to be running both of them on the same team, her heals would also come in a little stronger as well. And on the Storm Relic, we're going to go ahead and affect that A2 as well. And we've got the 100% chance to affect accuracy increase for 2 turns, 100% chance to heal each ally 6.5% versus 7.5% with the Flame Relic. So it's a little bit less on the heal there. Where'd I go? All right, here we go. 6.5%, and then 100% chance to convert each ally's dot into recovery over time. And then we're adding 100% independent chance to grant each ally attack increase too. So I think as far as these are concerned, I think the Flame Relic is where Vivien's going to have the most success, having a slightly bigger heal and doing the same function with the attack increase. Although if you do need single target healing, this is an absolute monster heal coming from Vivien with 29%. Looks like we're also going to be buffing that Chivalry 3, where currently we have the skill enhancement changes activation condition to when using a skill. We're also going to be adding 100% independent chance to grant each steed favors ally amplification for 2 turns. And amplification is a vigor step up, I believe. That is going to be a pretty cool ability if you are running an entire steed team. Maybe you could move away from adding vigor to them. At least I'm trying to remember. I believe it won't let me click on this and tell me. But I'm pretty sure amplification is an extra vigor. So she's doing this every time she's using a skill. So if you're spamming her A2 every turn, she's going to be putting this up for 2 turns. So theoretically, you could build a Steeds team that doesn't require the vigor set, which is kind of similar to what Nika has going on there, which is pretty big time. That's a pretty big buff. And then on Chivalry Tier 8, her current when attacking, 100% independent chance to grant Winding Waves and defense increase 2. They're adding the defense increase 2 to each ally except yourself for 2 turns. And that cooldown is 3 turns, and it used to be 6. So every 3 turns she can get increased defense, and that's when attacking. So that's going to be every 3 turns you're getting this increased defense plus Winding Waves. I honestly don't recall what Winding Waves is, but that is staying the same. It's just getting the added enhancement of defense increase too, which is going to be pretty strong, especially if you're looking at Steel Flank Penbid when he runs that heal disruption debuff. Bringing a defense increase to your team can often keep them alive 5 turns, so that maybe it can fall off if they resist it, or if Steel Flank Penvid puts it somewhere else, and then you can heal that champion back up and keep them going. But that is actually a pretty good buff going on to Vivien, which I think is a good thing, because she seemed to be at first like she was going to be a pretty strong healing and support champion, but then kind of became a little underwhelming. And then we do also have Brendan coming into the standard summoning pool, so he will be part of the special summons, which is pretty cool. He'll probably getting added to a lot of people's wish lists, and then also his relics are coming into the game as well. They are changing the turn count on some of these stuff. It says hero turns 500, and they're changing it to total turns. So I guess they're including the boss's turn as well in the 500. So you have less turns to defeat the boss. If I'm reading that correctly, I don't know. I'm not really too concerned about that. The only time that really comes into play for me is really in the Hall of Conquerors with your total turns. So that's the only time I'm running into getting stopped out on turns. Although Forbidden Dungeon, I've been close a couple times. Hero turns, so there you go. Forbidden Dungeon, normal mode, hero turns is 120. It's moving to 240. And then on hard mode, it's moving from 120 to 240. Hall of Conquerors is going to stay at 200. So everything else is going to be 500 total turns. I'm assuming that includes the boss turns as well as heroes. So you get a few less turns across the board, except for Forbidden Dungeon. You're getting twice as many turns, which is pretty good. Although I say twice as many turns, if it's counting the enemy turns as well, you won't be getting twice as many, but you probably are still getting, 50% more depending on how fast you're running compared to the enemies. You're going to get several extra turns from the 120. And then we got a couple bug fixes coming to the game. Charlotte's leaking to Divinity. Don't know too many people that are actually even running Charlotte. And then you have the buff icon for Gawain, as well as apparently normal mode 2.7. It would crash occasionally. This one actually did happen to me. Hall of Conquerors, where Talos occasionally dies early. I think on my 8th turn, he died. And I thought I beat him. And I was like, there's no way I killed him with 100 hearts there. It didn't give me those as a score, so I had to keep going, but that's good that they're fixing that buff too. And then you have the upgraded rates and changes with adding a new champion to the pool. So all in all, I think that the patch is kind of what I expected. We're going to be working on Vivian. I do like that bringing Vivian in as a rate up summon and giving her a buff, or kind of balancing her at the same time, is kind of cool. I hope they continue to do that in the future. That's one opportunity like Raid Shadow Legends always struggles with, is once they put a character in the game, it is so rare for them to go back and buff a character. They'll nerf a character that they don't want to work, especially if it's a rare character that everybody can get. They'll get right on that and get that done. But they'd never go back and kind of rework characters so that they function properly, which is kind of frustrating. So if we're going to get a rate up summons of a champion that's already in the game, at least we are getting additional skills on that champion, kind of changing that champion's kit a little bit. So it's kind of a fresh version of that champion. Although I would really like to just get a new champion, to be honest with you. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Last 2 weeks ago, we did get a monster update and brought a lot of great things into the game. So I can't really complain too much. But I would have liked to seen communication come through this prior to the actual drop of the maintenance. But that being said, I'm going to kick you back over to the rest of the video where I take Arthur into Steel Flang Pinbit and wrap it up. But we'll get this guy running. I got a short one for you today. It was just something I was looking at right before the update, and I figured I'd jump on here and get this out. By the time I get it edited and uploaded, it'll probably be a couple hours after the maintenance, but hopefully while it's still going on. I wish I would have got it out earlier so I could at least warn you guys if you wanted to pull for Arthur as well. But, it's just one of those things where, you get a huge update 2 weeks ago. Chances of this week being big is probably slim to none. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.